Just let me just have a sip of my tea. Chamomile tea. Now in preparation of the stream, I was running Xcode and have all the simulator stuff loaded so it doesn't load on stream and eats my CPU power. But I had to comment a lot of code to get this to run. And now I have to find the places that I commented and uncomment them again. Okay, I think that was all. Now let me check the stream if it looks good, sounds good. Find the places that I commented and uncomment them again. Okay, I think that was all. You can't hear music, now can you? Now let me check the stream if it looks good, sounds good. No, you can. Just very, very quiet. The places that I commented and uncomment them again. Okay, I think that was all. You can't hear music, now can you? Let me check the stream if it looks good, sounds good. No, you can. Just very, very quiet. The places that I reduce the gain of my microphone. Uncomment them again. Okay, I think that was all. That's good now. You can't hear music, now can you? Let me check the stream if it looks good, sounds good. No, you can. Just very, very quiet. The places that I reduce the gain of. So, I wanted to implement one more thing. That is, I already started. For the same day when you attempt to add a new weight, that you would get an alert that you already added a weight for the day, and then you have the chance to either cancel or confirm that you want to override it, and then you have the chance to override it by adding a new weight for that day. That kind of helps with not being able to edit a weight, right? So you kind of have an added feature just on the same day. And if it's past that day, then the added feature is not as important anymore, I would think, because, I mean, you cannot wait yourself for yesterday, right? All right, so for that reason, I was looking into the SQLite library on GitHub. Let me see here. If we can find it really quick, like this. That's the official mirror. Is that an official? So this is not it. That's not the guy. Where are we? GitHub. All right. So let's look at GitHub really quick. The guy was giving a README. Let's see. SQLite Swift. Oh yeah, of course. It has to be Swift specific. In all GitHub. Here, Steven Silas. Now if I want to update a value, right? Update. What am I doing? Update. Here. He describes how you can update. Is that the update? Let's say well documented. Let's see. We got documentation for creating, selecting, upserting, updating. This is how you update it. However, he's using users right away. And I don't know how this one, what that is. I don't know what that is. Is that a row? Is that some kind of query? So let's see. So, okay, we can scope. I have a fly in here. It's gonna be, hey, for this small room, having a fly is very tight. We cannot fit both in here. Now, so I couldn't figure out earlier when I was looking into it how to update it. So here's my attempt. I prepared the table, the weight log table that we created, filtering on the ID. So what I'm doing is I'm basically grabbing, so here I created another function. Here I created this function, find. You can find a weight by today's date. And so this struct just holds the a date property, and start of the day, I call it like that. So then if we find a property, a weight in our database that has a date that is, including time, older than today's date, start of the day, we know it must be from today, and it can only be one. And so I'm getting that query result, getting the first result, and then mapping that row into one entity and return that. Optionally, because if I cannot find anything, it's going to be nil. And so I'm using that, and it has an ID, right? Because it comes from the database right away. And so I'm using that in the view controller. Here I'm basically getting it. So, oh yeah, I'm checking whether it has a weight entry for today. And if it has, I'm making this, I'm actually asking. That's interesting that, oh, I did it on did save instead of log weight. Okay, I can change that. I want to do it on log weight so you can, before you enter your weight, make the decision. And on confirm, you are going to say, okay, create weight amount. Let me see here. And then down here, let's create weight amount again. So actually, we want to remove that. Reload. Okay. Create weight amount is doing the stuff, is it? No, it's just inserting. Am I not doing what I'm supposed to do? Oh, I guess let's do like throw fatal. Can I do fatal error? Thank you. This will at least silent this error. I hope you guys can hear me okay. For some reason, I'm super surprised. For some reason, this time in the day, so it's 8 o'clock for me, it's almost the most inconvenient, the time that is the most inconvenient one to stream, because it's the lowest amount of people on Twitch watching coding streams, which means low discoverability. It's the lowest amount of people on Twitch, which means it's hard to find fellow developers like you. Okay, so my goal is to figure out right now how I can update the weight that we already entered today, basically by replacing the amount from today's weight that was already entered with the new one that we're entering on the same day. So we always have one weight entity in the database, and whenever we decide to log another weight and on the same day, we are only overriding the amount that we are entering in terms of our weight, basically updating the entry. Okay, so now into our repository here, back here, I wanted to have the right query, and then if I have the query result, oh yeah, I have to change actually the theme to be stream and indentation to be 2. That's better, much better. Okay, great. We can move this over here even a little bit. Still room. So now, if I use my query result, what does this one have? It doesn't have update, does it? Right? It's a row. It's an array of row. And if I say first, just to access the row, it just has get. And if I say update, that defined on f-tuple transaction. But where do I get the tuple transaction? So if I say db run throws, if I say prepare, it returns a sequence. Okay. So that's what I'm confused by. What is this user? That he's calling update on. I would like to know what that is. Oh, I see. It's just a table. Interesting. So that's users table. And then he says just update. And how does he filters And then he says update. See, I'm doing the same thing, am I not? Am I not doing the same thing? ID equals 1. I guess I can do, look, self table. Oh, I'm doing prepare. That's the difference. I don't need to do that. I just need to do basically self table and then filter. Yeah. And then I can say ID, right, equals request ID. Hey, we figured it out. What is filter doing? Is it throwing or doing anything? No, it's just returning a table. And then we can do on the table, so we can remove all of this, update, and then we can say update the amount by the request amount. And do we need to do anything else than that? Oh, we have to run that. Okay. Binary operator cannot be applied. See, no, that's interesting. So that's then the wait log entity equal to that. Let's see if it's still complaining. It is. So cannot be applied to operands of type expression. Because that's not an expression. Well, I guess I can, wait, which one is optional? That one? Why is that one optional if I definitely need it? What if I just say it's not optional? Let's just try. And then, oh, I could even just say expression like this. And we will have to import SQLite 3 or just SQLite? Just SQLite. Okay, now we can say equal static member ID cannot be used on instance of type repository insert wait. Oh, fine, I'll do this. Reference to the type, capital S. It's shorter than typing the whole name of that. Now we have the wait log entity, and now we can say database run the query of wait log entity dot update, and that's it. What is it returning? Self, let me see. It's returning in an int. That's interesting. So that wait log, I guess we could just not return anything here then. We'll just update it. That's the update function. This is going to update, let's see, like this. Call can throw. Okay, try. Now we got the update function in place. Now we can go into our view controller. Now where do we want to do? Yeah, right. Actually on the tab of the, not on save, but on the tab of the button. Here, did press. Let's move this delegate implementation down below. Here. Here, what we can do is we can first check before, when we tap on that button, we can first check whether a wait was already saved for today, already inserted into the database for today. We can make this check here, and if it's true, then we can show an alert saying, hey, are you sure you want to overwrite your today's wait entry? Then you can say confirm and it opens up this new view, or you can say cancel and you're all good. So that's what we can do here. And that's what I'm doing here basically. It's that if statement. And since stuff in here is throwing, let me see here. Let's do that first. So if has wait entry for today. That's just a convenience function of my I guess I have to make sure it's given. View model. So view model is given. Making this check. This one does nothing but create a date of today and formats it so it's the start of the day, preferably 12 a.m. And then it creates a request struct with that date, and we're passing it into the repository, which is the database layer, and we're trying to find a weight that, you know, is from today. And if it's unequal nil, then it's true. Like if there's no weight, if there's a weight, then unequal true is true. And so has weight entry for today is going to return true if there's a weight found. If there is no weight found, then this is going to be false, and then we know, okay, there's no weight for today. So we know if there's a weight for today. You already entered your weight for today. Are you sure you want to overwrite? So let me just see. Are you sure you want to overwrite today's weight entry? Whoops. Weight entry. Let's do it like this. Short and precise. If it's this short, I might even be able to put it on one line. Like that. Can we move it a little bit more over here? I guess, you know, is this? Oh yeah, because we're throwing here, we do need a do catch. So do, and then we're catching an error. Like that, and we could, whatever error is gonna be displayed, just display it to, if that's not working, right? For some reason, we can let the user know something went wrong. Actually, we could just log it for us, print error, so we know where, and the message to the user would be could not what are we going to say? Could not log weight, please restart the app or something, because I don't know what's going on at this point. It should never fail. It's just handling the failure that should never happen. Could not log weight. Try restarting the app. Okay. Let's actually put it on the next line so we can read it better. So, okay. Here, now if the user confirms that he wants to actually log, then we're just going to present or do this one, right? We're executing that. Bam. From here on out, do we care? We need to do self. When we hit save, oh yeah, we have to handle when the user typed save. Now, when the user types save, we need to make sure that we either update today's weight or whether we have to insert a date, new date. So we will need to say do, and then use the progress VM, and then has weight for today if, right, if has weight for today, and I guess that one is throwing. If it has weight for today, we're updating stuff. Now where's our, this is create weight amount, right? Let's see, progress VM, update, and then create weight, so I can use that. That's gonna have the new weight amount that was typed into the view. You will see it in a second. So that one is a try as well. And are we returning something? Yep, we're returning. We don't need it, so let me just assign it to nothing. And else, we are going to insert progress VM, create weight amount, and then request, try like this, catch the error, and then basically do the same here, could not log weight, and then let's print our error for ourselves here. We can remove all of that. Bam. So printing the error in case we catch something during our development, so we can see what's going on. That one is going to return something we don't need, we don't use. And then here we can say could not log weight, or basically could not save weight, right? Because we're tapping save. Try restarting the app. because that one actually, again, should never happen. But if it happens, I don't know what's wrong. Just restart the app. Something must have gone south. Okay, and I think that's it. Let's try to run the app. Let's try to see if we can do what we are intending to do. I need to import a foundation for this one to be in available date. Okay, let's have a sip of tea. So after this, if this one works, let's try. Today is the 26th of September. So we didn't enter a weight yet. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. We don't have today's weight. So let's log our weight. It should not come up with the alert. Log weight. Oh, one sec. We made a rookie mistake. If it has, we don't have an else. If it doesn't have, then we want to do that too, right? We want to do that regardless. Well, unconfirm, and if there's nothing. So let's, and since that one is duplicated code, we can do two things. We can either define basically up here the code. I'm trying to think right now whether that's good or not. I guess we can just present log weight vc equals to code, and that's the code. And then we can say present log weight vc, execute that one if the message was confirmed for overriding a weight, and present that one in case there was nothing to override and it's the first log anyway. We can do that. Catch block is unreachable because no errors are thrown. Oh, really? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, like this. Even better. That one is not throwing anything. Makes sense. Let me rerun this. I changed some code. I would like to write this actually in a non-function. It's so I can even jump into it better. Jump to definition. I guess it does it, but it's kind of convoluted, this function here. Okay, so now we don't have an entry for today. Let's go about it. If we are attempting to enter a new weight, great, let's do it. 82. It should enter a new weight. Yep, 26th of September, right there at 82-ish, right? Now, if I attempt again for today, yay, are you sure you want to override today's weight entry? Okay, gotta fix that one. Cancel, no, I don't want to. Or I do want to, let's try that. So let's build it again, tab on the weight, logging the weight for today. Yes. Okay, now I'm allowed to. And now I'm going to say, let's say 23. Save. Is it working or is it throwing? Oh, I didn't implement that one. Whoops. Whoopsie. I guess I only have to implement, that was my own, weight log repository update, and then update weight log request. Okay. Yeah. So here I have to find today's weight. That's the Gordlet entity for today. It's equal that, else throw weight log entity error, could not update weight log entity. It's actually could not find, but it's okay. That one is not what we try. Okay, now the entity is given. We have to create an update weight log request that requires the entity's ID. Oh, it's optional for some reason. Interesting. I guess let's do entity ID equal that, so it's unwrapped, and then we're going to use it unwrapped. And then the amount is not gonna be from here, not from the original one, but from the new one, request dot wait amount. And then created at could be just, I guess just now, because we're just creating a new entry just right now. Does the request actually have it? No, it doesn't, because it doesn't make sense. Why would the request have the date? So we're having an update request, so update request, and then we can just pass it in here, update request, pass it in here. Let's see what it's returning. Update request, right? It's not returning anything. So let me refactor that one to not expect anything. That one probably throws, and that should be it. So now, I guess, where is this one called? Can convert type int to expression. Oh, let's see. Why is that one? Wait a second. Oh, I have to update, I have to refactor. Where am I going? Here, I have to refactor this one to be expression. It is expression. Why would this one not be expression? What's the... Oh, okay. So that one doesn't need to be expression. We did that because we thought the entity is going to be expression, and so we can use it in a query. So now this should work, but the query should not work. So let me just use the arrow to jump into the place. That's not working out. And what? It's working out? I'm surprised. Update? Aren't we using request ID that's not of type expression? This is not of type expression and it's working. Okay, I'm fine with it. So we have to clean up, like, how many entries are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we could say we just allow the last 7 entries to be displayed here. Yeah, I would say so. The last week. So the last week. So now September 26th. I want to confirm, and then let's say 23. Save. Yes. Going down to 23. See? And then I can just override it again and say 1000. Bam. Up to 1000. Still on the same date. Not added because it's the 25th, right? Yeah, I want to confirm overriding my today's wait. I lost a lot. It's working. Okay, great. Now we have to address that thing here. I'm adding another point, I don't know, very low point in the end, because else you can see how this point doesn't have a date displayed. That's just how this graph works. This graph does not show the date of the last point, and I don't want this one to be an actual, entry of ours, to not show the 26th when actually today is the 26th, right? And be here and not showing the date for some reason. So what I do is I just add a mark point in the end, so that the today's date is going to be, one behind, and we always see it here. So what I want to do is to improve that, because it's always going to point to the very lowest here. I'm going to just take the average of the wait from the last 7 days basically, and use the average to use it as a last point. So it's always going to be like, as if it's a projection of your, almost like a projection of where you're going, right? Of your progress. And we can also say, when we get the list of the, of the last, like all the entities, we can say we would just want to have the last 7. So we can filter. Shall we just commit what we just did right now? So this is safe, because it's working nicely. It's why is this alert so bright? Is it not dark mode? Device, IO, features, toggle appearance. Oh, look at this. Now it's dark mode. Wow. I don't know what happened here. It's not my doing. I didn't. And now if I toggle again, now it's, now it's again light mode, but this doesn't change. Okay. So let's just commit our changes into Git. so it's safe. And better workout. CD better workout. Let's do it like this. Let's see. Let's have a look what we did. It should look overall all right. So that's our delegate that we just moved into a different place. That one is the handling of updating or creating, catching the error. That is error. And then we have the update implementation. This one is the find. Okay, sounds good. We don't need the SQLite here anymore, I suppose. We don't need, I guess maybe in 64, I don't know. And then, okay, looks good. Git add, git commit, and then user can now overwrite today's wait entry. That's basically what we did. Okay, push to master, done deal. Now, next step is two things. Getting just the last 7 dates. The last 7 dates, bear in mind, it doesn't mean it's from yesterday and the day yesterday, like from a week ago up until today. It's the last 7 elements, which could be today's weight, and you wait and you logged your weight a week ago, and then 3 weeks ago, so that's already 3 entries only, and then the last 7 entries, which could pose a problem if it was last year. But I guess, I mean, if you logged your weight in December this year and then in January, it's just gonna display 12 and then I don't know 24th of December. I think that's all right, because it's all right because we will never have the same thing like December here and December here again over a year, because we don't have you could at max have 6 different months. That's what I'm trying to say, or 7 different months. 7 entries, 7 last entries means if you just have 1 entry per month, you're gonna have max 7 entries, 1 entry per month, meaning you will not have the same month repeating in the same graph. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay, so then let's see here. We are in the weight log cell, and we're configuring the chart here and getting the data in here. So the weight log cell should not be aware of any logic. Okay, it's just displaying the data that it's receiving. So it's getting an array of plottable data, and that's what it's displaying. Done. But whoever is calling this, right? God damn it, callers. Whoever is calling this, it's the view model, our logic layer. This guy can manipulate and do all the number crunching. So here's what we do. We are getting, let's see here. We're using the repository to get the list, basically all the entries ever created, and then we're mapping it into a single plottable data. And then in the end, we're adding another, and that's this endpoint here, and we have the value 0. So what we can do is, before we do that, we can say list, and then let's see, how do we keep let's filter first. Let's filter, I guess sort. Sorry, we're sorting. Sort by, so one is actually returning, and the other one, yeah, so that one is returning and that one is doing it in place. We can do it in place. Sort by, and then we could say, let's see here. The first, what is it? Oh, because it's plottable data already, we don't have the date exposed here. So we will have to do it on this one. So let's do sorted project. You're right, I didn't set it up again. My wife is teasing me by trying to use the command that I didn't look into connecting. God damn it. I must fix this project. Yes, I really should do that after the stream. So that way you can just type an exclamation mark project and it will tell you what we're working on and where to find it, because this is already live. You can download the app for free today. Let me see why I cannot do sort. I can just do sorted. I guess that's all right. Oh, I guess you cannot do sort because that's a let. That's gonna be not a variable. Okay, that's good. And then we're assigning it to this list anyway. So sort by, and then we have one entity and the other one. So sort by created at, and then let's see here, created at, and then this is going to be a second variable passed in here. Let's see if this, and then we can use map still. So that hopefully should not change the order of the entries right here. It should still be the same, unless we misunderstood which way around this chevron should look. But I think, you know, it should sort bigger to smaller. Oh, is it from left to right then? Bigger to smaller? We will see. 26, yeah, bigger to smaller. See, we did do it the wrong way around. So why am I doing that? Even though we had it the right, you know, the right order already, because the order that we saw, it was implicitly right. It was just right because it was the way we inserted data into the database, and by that we have an increasing ID number, and then by that coincidentally, you know, we're doing it so that we're entering one data a day, and then it will just, you know, be in the right order. But if we change stuff in the future somehow, it will break this one without us noticing, and then the days are going to be scrambled. That's why we're making sure we're getting the data back and then sorting it the way we want it. And then now we can say, now we need to do let's see, first, I want to get the first 7. So maybe range, what is it, range, but optional range? Can I get, let me look this up. Does any one of you know how to get the first 7 elements of an array in Swift? First X elements of array. How to get first n elements? Yeah, I should have used n. X. 0, yeah, but what if there is none? Closed range operates with one-sided ranges. So that's okay. Half smaller equal 3, 1, 2, 3. All the above example produce the same array slice of the first 3 items of names array. Caveats. Okay, you might get an array index out of range error if your range is larger than an array. So make sure your array is larger than the range, or use other methods if an array size can be determined at compile time. Using prefix will return a subsequence up to a specific amount of lengths. So if we want the first n items, we use prefix 3. About this method is that you don't have to worry about indexes out of ranges like the previous example. Perfect. So it's gonna be prefix max length 7, and now we want to map the whole thing into a single plottable, and we have our list, and now we should see 7 entries plus the last entry. What we could do here is we could use that list. We do need that list actually, god damn it. So before we map it, okay, let's do it like this. So we have that list. Okay, now let's get the average weight is equal list dot, and then we can reduce starting with 0 and then creating a sum out of so we have the result, and then in result plus, actually we can just do this. That's Swifty. So we have the average, we have the sum, and then now that's the sum, right? We will divide it by the list count. It should be 7. Cannot convert int to expect. Oh, we cannot do plus because it's the entity. Fair enough. Fair enough. Result in result plus, and then the element, and then we have, where is it? Oh yeah, we need these in here. So it's gonna be result in result plus, and then what's passed into here, and then the amount or weight. What do we call it? If we say self, that's an int. How's that an int? It's a list of weight log entity. This should be a list of weight log entity. Oh, one sec. Result entity. This way around. Sorry. This is the result. Well, I guess it makes sense. We can even shorten it. So it's going to be result plus entity amount. And then now we can divide it by that. And now we can say list map. And we can say, we can call this one entity list. Entity list, right? Makes sense. Because that one is going to be a different list. We're using entity list here, and then list is going to be equal to entity list mapped to. So we can call this maybe, I don't know, data list. Okay. Of course, entity list here. Divided by. Now this is going to be a double. We don't need the, what is this one? Cannot use, oh, whoops. Has to be a var. This one doesn't need to be a var. I guess it yeah, it doesn't need to be a var. Does it? Convert type of alt text with argument int. Do I have to do it like this? So that's the starting value. And then binary operator cannot be applied to operands of type double and int. Okay, got it. Gotta cast this to a double. Now that should work. So we got the average weight, which is the sum of all weight divided by the amount of entries. And then we can use the data list. We're passing it in here, and we want to use the average weight, but as an int. So then the average weight is going to be like that. Oh, it gotta be a CG float. See, that's gonna be a little bit. Is there a way to get rid of the comma values? Because right now I'm getting rid of the comma values by casting to int, and then I'm casting the int to CG float. You know what I mean? Actually, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We could use the we could use the double value because it's going to be on a graph anyway somewhere. Okay, great. So now our line, so that was the reason why we did that. So we have, why is this misaligned? So our last point in our graph is not going to be at the bottom anywhere. It's going to be floating at the average point of all weight entries. And plus, we will only have the last 7 weight entries. Look at this. Isn't that nice? See? That's your progress. That's your. So we have, wait, this is backwards. Why do we see 21 everywhere? The last 7, prefix 7. Oh, I don't want the first 7. I want the last 7. Wait a second. Do I have postfix? I guess what we can do is we can do it this way around. We're sorting it this way around, and then we take the prefix. Oh, Damn, but then it's gonna be from left to right, so we would have to then reverse. Man, that's... we could... What am I doing? You know, this is the 26. So then I have to do reverse now here. Unless it's good, there's postfix. Is there something like postfix? So this is prefix, right? Do we have postfix? Why? Why is there no postfix? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. We did have... No, wait. Did we have... Look at this. Last. Returns the subsequence containing all but the specified number of final elements. I guess that's not what I wanted. I guess it's not possible. It's not given. Hey, if anyone knows how to get the last 7 elements of an array, let me know. Else, I'm just gonna go with this workaround that I'm getting the... Wait a second. That I'm sorting from I'm sorting descending, then I'm grabbing the first 7, and then I'm reversing that to have an ascending plottable view. Look at this. Isn't that nice? So you wait, you know, it's gonna be not this extreme. Like, who's gonna weigh 78 kilograms and then 26 6 days later or 5 days later? So it's gonna be more, you know, subtle. Whoa, is for us. Thank you for the follow. That came up out of nowhere. Startled me for a second there. Thank you for the follow. Doesn't it have suffix? Oh, hey, that's a good point. Let's try. Let's see. Suffix. So returns a subsequence up to the given maximum length containing the final elements of a collection. I guess that's exactly what we need, no? On an array. Yeah. Let's see here. Suffix. And then we don't need to reverse, and we don't need to do it like this. And now everything should still look the same. Let's have a look. So it's ascending, and then we're using the last 7. Let's check it out. Hopefully it works. Yeah, it does. Vara or Isvara, thank you so much. This is great. I love it. Today I learned. See, this is what I think is so awesome. You know, you can just code and then you can just talk and then learn stuff from you guys. Okay, great. So look, we got the last 7 entries. Obviously on the 21st of September, I went a little bit overboard, but it's okay. And then we have an average weight. And yeah, let's update our weight for today to be more accurate somehow. Yeah, let's confirm that one and do like, I don't know, 83. So it looks a little bit better. Awesome. Let's let's commit that, because now we address 2 things at once. Git status. Good. Let's have a look at the code we changed. Looks good. And then so the weight graph now only shows last 7 entries plus last entry is average weight. And push to master. My wife says hey to Isvara. Or Isvara, or just Vara. There's one more thing we need to do actually. We want to give the user the freedom of choosing whether it should be kilogram or pound in the settings here. So it's gonna be like metrics of some sort. Adding the way to set your metric system. Makes sense, right? And then based on the settings set it, we are going to display kg or lbs. Yeah, let's see how we can design that. It should be, I guess it should just be a segmented control here, and it should just say kg or lbs based on what you selected. Wait, not in here, but like in this view, right? Okay, let's do that. And then we're storing it in user defaults, and then from user defaults we can read it back to here. And by default we can use pounds. I think I have America on the second place, if not the first place for downloads. So it would make sense to use, you know, unfortunately, the metric system that only America uses, kind of, pounds for weight. I think, yeah, I'm fairly sure America is one of the only countries, if not the only country, to use that kind of metric system. Well, actually, that speaks to use kilogram, because every other country combined was gonna be probably. Let's do kilogram, because the educated people in America do know what kilogram mean that then too, and they can just change it to the pounds. Let's do that. Okay, so let's go into our settings view controller. Settings view controller. And then in here, let's see how we built that. That's gonna be a table view probably. It is a table view. It has a settings cell, and that settings cell, so we want to add a new settings cell. We got a settings view model. It's probably holding the data source, and it only has, yeah, let's actually format this one a little bit nicer, like this. Oh, the way I implemented that is going to make it so easy to add a new, look at this. Don't forget stones for the Brits. All right, I'll add stones. Is that an insider that I might? It's funny, but is it more than that? Like, am I missing something? Here, this is going to be super cool. I'm just adding another element to that data source, and if I did everything right, hopefully, and run the app, the way how I implemented this architecture will just populate another table view cell and just work. And since it's a type of notification, it will just open up the same view controller. We will have two times the same. See? And it's gonna open up the same thing. And in here, and we can enable it. Yep, allow notifications at 8 a.m. Close it. Bam. It's the same thing. Now all we have to do is change a little bit of here, and because I used enums, I will have to introduce a new case, for example the metric system case. And since I used an enum, everywhere where I used notification to make a decision how this action is, you know, how the action should behave, Xcode will throw an error and say, hey, your switch statement should be exhaustive, and by that I can just jump through the errors, fix them, and then it should just work. I think Brits are the only ones using stones, 14 or 16 pounds or something. Oh, really? Stones for measurement? For what? For weight? Royal statue fixed the stone of wool at 14 pounds and the sack of wool at 26 stones. Trade stones of variant weights persist, such as the glass stone of 5 pounds. The stone is still commonly used in Britain to designate the weights of people and large animals. What? What? I didn't know that. What? Wait a second. Only for weighing people? I gotta ask. I have a friend who is well, this is Britain, right? But I have a friend who lives in London. Let's see. Is it true that you guys are using stones to weigh people? What the? Where's the brain explode emoji? That's... wow. You blew my mind right now. I didn't know that at all. Okay, that's gonna stick with. This is something that's gonna stick with me until I die. Okay, let's say metric system. Now let's use metric system here, and then let's use SF symbols, and let's see if we can find something that I don't know, like represents weight, you know, or metric system. Maybe how do you call it? Like where you have like a measuring, not tape, but what is it called? Measuring. It's harder than the tape. You use it in school. This measuring stick kind of thing. You guys know what I mean, right? Not great. Something like that. What is it? It's a ruler. Yeah, there you go. Hey, what do you say? Jinx? There we go. A ruler. That's a good icon. So we can use that one. I should have a collection of icons I'm using in the app here. So this is the bell icon for the settings. Whoops. Let's move over here. All the way to the left. And then down here. And what we can do is, let's see, we are going to use that one. However, not the thick one that's here. I want the one that's not medium, but it's a little bit too big. Regular. See, that's a little bit, wait a second. Did it change? Black. Oh yeah, it did change. Okay, regular. Looked good to me. Maybe even light. Just so it speaks the same language here as the bell. So we can just grab, drag and drop it in here and have it, wait, it should be here and black. Why is the transparency all low? Oh yeah, this one is gonna be 0, 0, 25, 25. Height, and then where is it? Where did it go? How is that not? Where is it? Is it this big? Okay, we're gonna do it differently. Export it. View. Where was it? File. Export. No, we could export. Let's say symbol. Right? Ultralight. No. Template. Export that one. And then save it on our desktop. And from there, open it up. Grab the... Why is it opening it up in my browser? That doesn't make sense. Usually SVGs are open up in Sketch. And then here, we can grab the light one. That one. Copy. And then paste. Adjust the... Oh, wait a second. I have to make a... To check which one is... This one is... So this one's gonna be 25 in width, and the rest it's just gonna go like that. Okay. Centered. And then we're gonna call it ruler and export it 1x, 2x, 3x. Desktop. It's gonna be ruler at. You're gonna see here. We can close that one. We don't need to save it. Go into our assets here. and then just drag and drop this whole thing. It's gonna be all in one, 1x, 2x, 3x. It's called ruler. Now we can go into our image asset struct or enum, and I call it static let ruler equal to ruler. And now we can say that's gonna be ruler. And then here, metric system, and then select the metric system of your choice, or I'm not quite sure about the wording here. So now if we run, it shouldn't work because we're missing some switch cases, at least in one spot that I know of, right? It should at least fail exactly. Now we can go in here, and then it will say, oh, you have to implement case dot, and then the root metric system case, and do something about it. Now we don't have the view controller yet for our view, but we're going to implement it. But for now, let's just use that one, reuse it so we can see how it looks like and see how it works. And it should work nicely. And this view is gonna be implemented fairly quickly. It's a very simple view, right? So we go into settings, look at this. We got our metric system, select the metric system of your choice, tap on it, and we land in our notification controller. Just a usage note, not only the base 10 SISL system is called the metric system, the one Americans is used is called Imperial. How, okay, so that's the metric versus Imperial system. How do you call the category then? Or what is the parent, you know what I mean? Like the drawer name, the name above that groups these things together. Like the measuring system? Do you know? That's what I was aiming for. But apparently I'm wrong. And it's a good call out. Unit system, yeah. That would make sense. Let's go with that. I like it. Unit systems, like the select the unit system of your choice. Kilogram. Does that make sense to show that? I feel like on smaller devices, it's gonna either, however, I'm not sure how I implemented it, either wrap into the next line or truncate. I can have a look into the settings cell and see, where did we do that? Here, settings cell, and our description, subtitle. Yeah, it doesn't have to sit up to actually break into the next line. It works here. Actually, we can remove these. It just convolutes again the view. Select the unit system of your choice. Unit system or unit systems. I guess unit system. And then we can test. Let's just test the super long line, okay? So super long line here. And see how that works, and then fix it, and then see how it works for number of lines 0. Whether it's wrapping it nicely. And then we can go ahead. Okay, yeah, it's truncating it. And now it should wrap it. And depending on how I implemented it here, with the constraints, make bottom equal to super view. Yeah, looks good. Does not look good. Why? Number of lines 0. You can remove off your choice since that's implied. Yeah. What else should I write into the description then? Because I didn't want to just repeat myself in, you know, what was written in the title. Oh, there you go. Now it works. I'm not sure what went wrong before, but okay. Great. So we can use that in general. Select the unit system. I guess just select the unit system. Of your, select a unit system. Ah, my phone fell. Okay. And okay, double dots. Now we can implement the view control. Select a unit system. It's kind of short. I mean, I know it doesn't really make sense to just artificially make the sentence longer, but the description is so short. Your preferred? Can you say that? Is it with 1 R or 2 R's? I guess we could keep it at that. Select the unit system. All right, let's keep it at that for now. And move on into implementing the view controller. So here we have the, let's see, how did we do that? Because I want to maintain the same structure. So we are always having a group for a new generic, like general place, a new general place in the app, which is basically like the notification view, like anything that can have like sub controllers that are beneath that super controller, basically. So the notification, or let's say, can have multiple views. Anyway, I didn't want to have notifications in settings, so else I will have 2 controls here. That's not too bad, but I'll have a lot more views here because I'm using like 2 views for the notification, and then I'll add even more views here for what are we adding? The unit system, right? So that's just gonna blow up even more and more. Instead, what notification, nice and small. You can overview it very quickly, skim through it. Here we are going to say unit system. We could move the whole group, move these 2 groups into settings, but then they're on the same layer as these, on the same level, and it's, yeah, I don't know. That's just the structure, how it is here. Let's do view controller. And we might not even need a controller. It's a new view controller. It's unit system. Yeah, it's gonna be unit system VC. Unit system VC, like this. And then we might just implement everything into this view controller if it's small enough. We are going to need either a manager, the user defaults manager. That way, I think I have one here. User defaults manager here. So I'm gonna add probably, oh no, yeah, here. Probably I'm gonna add, see, do I want to add the storage stuff in here? So the reason why I have a user defaults manager is because I do want to, have an overview of the stuff that I'm storing into user defaults and not have it scattered all over the app, like introducing a view model here and have the view model store stuff in user defaults. That way I risk somewhat losing the overview of what I'm storing in user defaults, and I don't know how big chances to use the same keys, but it could be fatal. All right, let's do that. Final class, that UI view controller, and then view did load, and then we're gonna have a setup extension unit system, and then setup. That's gonna be called from here. and we are going to have a setup view. Well, yeah, setup view and setup constraints. Setup func, private func setup constraint, and that's going to be called from here. Setup view, setup constraints, and then here, how do we want to design it? So it's going to be something like a segmented control on the right side, and then on the left side, I don't know, say again, select your unit system, I guess. Select a unit system. Select a unit system. I guess it's going to say the same thing. What is... Okay, I have to have a look at what I'm using here in terms of font. But okay, it's going to be a label and that one. And we can use a stack view. That's going to be easier. Okay, private. Let description label, right? And we want to set it up here. So we are going to say CUI label, an executed function, label equals UI label, return label, and then the font size is going to be probably, I think, small, but we're going to have a look at the here notification, and then the daily reminder view is going to be this, or time view. So time view has a label somewhere, description label. See, this is going to be just the same as here, system font of size X small, and then custom white. Copy, paste, same size, same everything. That's the label. And then on the right side, segmented control, UI segmented control, and then control is going to be segment control. And here I think we have to UI segment control. Do we have to pass in the items already? Kilogram. See, so I don't know. Let me see if we can do. Oh, it was optional actually. It was showing us it was optional. And then if we have it instantiated without, can we set it? We should be able to set it up afterwards, right? So items somehow paste. Performs a paste operation on the respond object. No, I just want to add items. Interesting. Okay, I don't know. I guess in that case, let's just do enum item, and it's gonna be kilogram, and pounds. And the representation of it is going to be kg and lbs, right? And then here we can say, actually we can make this yeah, we can make a case iteratable, and then not sure if that's a smart way to do that. String value, well, you know what I mean, because I could just say here item all cases, and then I could say map to the raw value, and then we're going to have kilogram and lbs, and I can do a map to raw value inside here into a computed property, and just access to a computed property like this, static var, what is it, raw values string, and then you just do that, raw values like this. But I'm not sure if that one is, if this is actually good. Actually like that. Right? This one said any. What's wrong with this one? Consecutive. Oh, whoops. Of course. Now we got the control in place, and we need a target at target self, and the action is gonna, does it have to be self, or can it be the view model right away? Let's do a group for view model. Create unit system VM. So we have the logic in there, unit system VM, the logic of storing, which basically will be in the user defaults, but the VM is going to be the one calling it. So it's going to be func save unit, and then we're expecting a unit system vc dot item. Here, item is not a good name, and also the place unit system is not a good place. And if we are looking at setting cell, not setting cell, I think it was somewhere else. Where are we defining the different? Yeah, exactly. In the view model, we're having this enum as well, and I think that's a good place for the unit. How do you call it? Just unit, right? Unit, and then unit list, and that's going to be a string. We can call it like that. And then this one is going to be expecting a unit, and then store unit in user defaults. And so then we can go in here, delete that. We can go and say unit system vm dot unit dot unit list. Now we got the list in here. Self action, that's going to be set up. Let's do actions in here. Extension unit system vc. Whoops. Add Objective-C func, and then unit action. Something like this. Select action, unit selection action. And then here we're calling we will have an instance of private let unit system VM equals unit system VM. I'm not sure if I have unit system like vmodel b classes. It's struct. I guess it should be fine. And then in here, all we do is unit system VM call save unit, and here we will have to grab the segmented control index basically, and by that and from that infer the case. We might have to optimize it a little bit. That one has to be a lazy var because I'm referencing self, the instance of it. It's not given at the time of this it being instantiated, if that makes sense. Action is gonna be a selector unit selection action. Oh yeah, and I'm passing it in here. And then I think for change, right? Value change. I'll have to double check the segmented control. But we are having we need this, what is it always called? Sender, right? UI segmented control. That's gonna be the sender. And then the sender, going to have the index, but the selected segment index is int. So it's going to be either, I think, 0 or 1. And depending on what it is, we know. But where do I put the logic to know which one it is? That one, you know, it could be also, instead of case iteratable, I could just say int, I think, assign integer value type. And then here I could say, oh no, I think I need to. I guess you cannot, yeah, you probably can't conform to string and int. It's either or. And then we could say static func from index, and then an index of type int. It's gonna return unit, and we can make it an optional, because if we say unit instantiated by raw value, so we can say switch index case 0. Well, case 0 is gonna return kilogram. Case 1 is going to return pounds, and then we need a default because it's an integer with infinite numbers, so to say. It's gonna be default, and the default is gonna return nil. Okay, let's see if that works. And then down here we can say unit is equal to, and then we have unit system VM, the type unit from index. That's gonna generate our unit from index. We can say guard let else and handle whatever, you know, went wrong here. Could not create unit from index, and let's see what index that's gonna be. Sender selected segment index, and then early return. But if it's given, we're passing it in here. Done. That's all the view controller is gonna do in terms of logic, right? And then we can just, you know, we just have to set up some views and constraints, and we're done with the view controller. And we can go and, you know, leave it behind and just focus on how we want to implement the storing the stuff. And we don't have to care about the view controller and the views anymore. This is what I like when you separate the layers of views, view controller, logic layer, and then database layer. Basically, you can, to me, it's easier to shift my context from, okay, I'm dealing with the view right now and just, you know, small view interactions. I'm done. Now I have all the data. Now I'm moving just to logic. Now let me just crunch numbers, and then I'm done with crunching numbers. Now let me just go to storage, like storing stuff, and then just do storing stuff, and then I'm done. Okay. Here now we will be using Snapkit. And so then we're adding our, oh, we forgot about our stack view. We need our stack view first. Private let. Why is that one not a let? Wait, oh, it can't be a let because, no, it can be. Can it not? It can be a let. Private let stack view UI stack view equals to stack view equals UI stack view, return. And then do we need any configuration for stack view? So stack view should be by default horizontal, if I remember correctly. Axis default value is horizontal. Okay, that's what we want, from left to right. And then the fill, the content, what's it called? Not content mode. The way how the content is filling the views. What is it called again? The property. It's not called fill. It's not called content mode. I don't think it's that. It's gotta be scale to. No, that's not it. For sure not. I think that's by default the right thing already too. That way we actually don't need to set it up at all in any way there. Let's just add the sub view, stack view, and then stack view, add arrange sub view, the label. Where's our description label? Description label right here, and then add the stack to the stack view our what was it? The segmented control. Segmented control. What I want to do is I want it to. So that's the thing. If someone knows a better way about it, please let me know in the chat because I would be very curious to know. So I want the segmented control to be on the very right side, and stack view is going to give, the label view and the segmented control view a different amount of view, space depending on how much real estate we have on the screen. And the segmented control might be, I don't know, filling up more than I want. And what I usually do is I'll create a container view, give the container view a fixed width, and then add the segmented control into that container view with a fixed width. And with a fixed width, the stack view is not gonna give that container view more space than it needs. And with that, it will be at the very right, and the label view is going to get the rest of the view. I did the same with this one too, I think, with the toggle. If there's a better way about it without a container view, let me know, but maybe that's just how it is. I don't know. That's just how I do it, and I wonder if there's a better way. So here we are going to say stack view, snap, make constraints, and then make leading, trailing equal to super view. Do we need any? Yeah. So what is our equal to super view offset that we use here? Let's see, settings, VC is actually not settings, it's notification. Let's go into our notification, daily reminder view, for example. Here you can see the toggle view. Well, let me see, how did I do that here? I suppose let's see here. Toggle view, it's just on the right side. And then the title label, subtitle, the right has an inset of a certain amount. Let's see without a container view how that looks. But in general, we were using 20, right? So this is the right side 20. Okay, so 20 is our spacing. Make trailing equal to super view inset 20. Okay, from left to right, stack view is already taking care of this. Then we have top equal to super view. I think top is going to be 15. A little bit of spacing there. Offset 15. Okay, cool. I think that's it. Since that's added and variable, now that's our unit system VC. Now we can use that one in our switch case in, let's find it, unit system. Wait, we didn't use just unit? How did we call it again? Unit, it was in the settings, VM, metric system, but that's wrong. Is Vara made me aware of this being wrong. So I didn't rename it. Unit. There we go. Now I can find unit system. Unit system. Oh, I'm looking in the, not in my project. Whoopsie. Now in the settings here. No, here. Let's use the unit system VC and let's have a look how it looks like. Oh, I didn't set up the background color for the view here. So settings VC, what kind of background color do you have? It's dimmed blue. Okay. So that's gonna be the same for here. Dimmed blue. Are you guys actually working on something right now or just lurking and chilling? Are you having any side projects you're working on? Like this? Unit system, tab, and there we go. Oh, we need something as pre-selected. Okay, so that looks all right. That's not a very right side. So what I want to see is now, I want to see a description label. Well, obviously description label needs some text. So label text, and then we're going to say select unit system, just like that. Colon, and then here, let's just do it here. Let's say description label.background color is equal red, and then the segmented control background color is equal blue, because I want to see the size of the view. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, it's perfectly, it's just the way it's supposed to be. Okay, that's great. Okay, I like it. Now we only have to take care of the default selection. But that's gonna be in setup here. Where do we put it? I guess I will have to have it, you know, the selected segmented control, selected a Boolean value indicating whether the control is in the selected state. What if that's true? How is it not selected? I guess right now it's not selected. So I have to set this one to a value, and the value is going to be coming from the user defaults. And I want to store a user defaults value on launch. Man, that's gonna be difficult. Not necessarily difficult, but I have to take care of, I have to take care of when the user launches the app to decide for the user what kind of unit system the user is going to be using. And I will have to store this decision in user defaults so that he can then go on in the settings and read it from user defaults to then have the segmented control be displayed based on the user defaults to then make a change about it. Yeah. And then set it here. Okay, we will come back to this. All right, select unit system. I guess select a unit system, right? Just like here. Select a unit system. Isvara, can I say of your choice here? Can I say that here? Let's implement the logic to store it in user defaults. So unit system VM, and then we have user defaults down here. We can open it over here. Oh, interesting. That I don't see the you know what I mean? The separation. So unit system equals better workout unit system, like that. Now Let's do it better and mark it unit system. Did I say Unity system up here too? Unit system, no, it's correct. Okay, great. Now here, let's say static func and then store unit system, and then we're expecting unit of, I think usually it would just say unit system. You wouldn't want to select your for everything when you have more settings. That's true, it's repetitive. That's a very good point. Yeah, we will have to make this one. Okay, so unit system VM unit. And then we can say basically this. Copy paste unit system and then unit raw value. I wonder if we can make it codable and just store it as a codable, but I guess that's too much work. We can just have it be string and then create an instance out of the string. It should never fail unless we're changing the values of it and we have the app launched already before and it's stored and it will never read it properly. Yeah, we can end up in a loop. You know what I mean? What if I open the app, I make a decision for the person to have kilograms as a unit system, then he's never changing it, right? Then I release an update where I'm changing the value kilogram to be saying kilogram actually, not kg. And then in the case right here, kilogram and then pounds instead. And then next time he opens the app and he goes into unit system, it's not going to be able to instantiate a unit case based on kilogram or pounds because it's not given. So it's gonna be dependent on how I handle it there. Like when I'm basically trying to present it into the segmented control. Let's see. Okay. We set it and now we need to get it. And then we just basically do this. And actually it's just static func get unit system returns a, and now here we can say unit like that. We can say unit string equals to user defaults standard string for keys unit system, and then gord let unit, well actually return unit system VM unit raw value unit string. Now we're having it. Now we can go back to our VM. Here we can say user default, well, user defaults manager, right? User default manager store unit system passing in the unit. That's all right. Here we're going to say retrieve unit system. Sometimes I'm saying unit, sometimes I'm saying system, but I think I'm storing the unit system and I'm getting the unit. I don't know. Someone tell me if I'm doing it wrong, using words wrong. Retrieve unit system, and then we can decide how we want to handle it here. You know, always return a default value when you retrieve it, and then where are we gonna use it? I guess, yeah. So then return user default manager dot, yeah, get. So here, if that's not given, by default we're going to say kg. Hey, can we not say that? We should be able to say that. Self is unit, exactly. That's not given. kg. Oh, kilograms. Whoops. Kilogram. Like that. This should work. So this way, we're handling reference kilogram cannot be resolved without a contextual type. What? What's unit anyway? What do you mean? Oh, because that one is not optional. Well, it shouldn't be optional. Cannot convert expression type unit to return type unit system VM unit. Mixing singular and plural. If you have units in your app like kilometers or miles. Yeah. So this is going to be kilogram, pound. Is that one pound? And am I saying LBS still for a pound? Kilogram and pound. I wonder what I'm doing wrong here. Unit system vm.unit just lb. Okay. Alrighty, just lb it is. Cannot convert expression of type unit to return type unit system vm unit. Cannot convert type. But what if this, what is this unit then? This should, how's that one not? Okay. You know what? I don't know if it's the name or what it is. If there's something called unit already. Okay, here. Oh, this one didn't know about unit. Well, that makes sense. But interesting, so unit here, look at this. An abstract class representing a unit of measure. Wow. It's exactly what I'm doing. Simple. Okay. I guess that's what it thought I was returning. But I'm not. So I have to be careful about that. So I could do that. And then here we have to do raw value. And then optional string must be unwrapped to value of type string. Oh, really? Well, I guess it's just gotta be like this then. That should work now. Now we should be able to go in here. Because that one has, we are in the same struct, so we should be referencing this. I guess that's dangerous to do, right? It's purple. It's purple when it should be actually turquoise or blue. And okay. So now back to our view controller here. And let's say the segmented control and the setup selected segmented index is equal to, let's get the, yeah, let's get the right index, I guess. Oh boy. Okay. Static var index is going to be an int, and then return switch, well, I guess switch self case kilogram. What? Oh, just kilo. No, why? It should be dot. Shouldn't it be? No, it should be dot, right? Oh, it's static, that's why. Okay. Okay, wait a second. We don't need it to be static. Kilogram. Return 0. Case. Pound. Return 1. Now, closing that one, going into here, and then the index is going to be the unit system VM get retrieve unit system and then index, like that. So we have the unit system index and it's set, and it's gonna be kilogram by default if it's not stored. I wonder if I even need to store it on launch, because by default, if it's not stored, I'm going for kilogram, and as soon as the user decides to start switching it to pound, it's gonna be stored, and if he switches it back to kilogram, it's gonna be stored as well, and with that, retrieved. Let's see here. Safe unit has no member safe unit. I guess it's safe unit system and then the unit. Oh, I should be calling it safe unit system, and then I should be saying imperial or metric, right? And then based on that, I should be having kilogram, pound. I'm doing it wrong. I mean, I guess it works right now. Kilogram. So let's see. If I say pound, and if I now restart, and let's see if it's going to be pound still. Let's go in here. It's kilogram. So did we do something wrong in here? So we're going in here, going in there, storing it in, oh, look at this. It's, why is it, I don't know. Oh yeah, it's VM, that's fine. Okay. Then going in there, and then restoring the raw value of it, right? And then we're getting the raw value later on here. So this should be stored, unit system key raw value. And then when we retrieve it later, like just going back in here, we should be having our unit string pound. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, it is pound. So why, if I relaunch, was it not pound? Let me just remove this breakpoint here. It's taking a bit too long. Could not attach. Okay. Did my simulator just break? It just broke. I'm doing it and I'm getting it back, and then I am saying in here, set up, set on, and I'm grabbing it, so that one is set up. Is, yeah, it's kilogram and pound, and then the index is 0 or 1. I guess the only thing that could be different is, I don't know, the index. That could be off or wrong. Okay, let's see if we can get it to run. Because for some, there we go. Let's go in here. Yes, it is pound, so it is stored. Okay, great. So now we can just go in here and just display it on this graph really quick. Let's go, and then I can call it a day because it's been almost 2 hours and we did awesome progress. We basically finished the graph and implemented the metric system with the help of Isvara to at least use the word somewhat right, 80% of it at least. So let's see, where did I want to go? Oh yeah, the wait log cell, right, logging cell. So I'm calling it wait logging cell here, and then I have wait log stuff somewhere else. I might have to rename this one. Here I am going to say, oh, is kilogram lowercase? Did I use it lowercase? Unit system VM. I wanted it to be, oh, I use kg. Oh boy. Okay, so what I can do is I can say var long version string and then switch self case kilogram return kilogram. There's so much room for optimization for the way I'm implementing that stuff here, but I guess it's pound, right? But it's going to be working. So here we're going to say unit equals to we need unit system VM and then retrieve unit system. Here we're going to say unit dot long version, and we can say returns, let's say kilogram for unit kg, kilogram. Well, it's gonna be a string. Like that, at least we have some kind of description, so it should pop up here. I guess it doesn't. Okay, that's fine. And unit of measure, title. Title was never used. Okay, I guess I don't know what title is used for then. But we can say unit dot, what is it? Raw value, right? Just raw value. And we should have LB up there because we stored LB. And if that's the case, we're going to push our code, and that means the next stream on Wednesday, we're going to start looking into, let's try kilogram, go in here, pound. Oh damn, because it's on configure and it's not on, man, you will have to restart to make it affect. So like I have to completely restart, not only close and reopen. Okay. Oh boy. I don't want to, call configure on view did appear, because that's a very heavy, there's heavy stuff happening behind the scenes to get the plottable array together and then, draw this whole thing. And a little bit of trickery as well. Okay, we can look into how we want to handle that change. We could, I don't really like the idea of having a global singleton that stores it in RAM as well as it's stored in, in user defaults. But okay, we can deal with that next time. For now, we have implemented quite some stuff and I'm pretty happy with the progress. So let's just add this. Let's have a quick look Actually, it's just so much changes. I think it should be all right. Git add, git commit, and then you can now select your unit system. Git push origin master, and that's it. And I'm going to go to bed slowly, 10 p.m. So thank you so much for joining the stream, and thank you so much for talking, Isvara. I enjoyed the talk. Where are you going to store the factors? The factors? What do you mean? What kind of factors? So on Wednesday, we're gonna start implementing the payment. So we're gonna put this one behind basically a upgrade view that lets you upgrade to a premium subscription of some sort, and then you can unlock this feature, the conversion ratios. Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, you're right. I wasn't thinking of it that way. I was thinking more of, oh, the user is gonna input it the way he's thinking of it, right? So he's thinking in pounds, so he's gonna input just 72, and then he sees, oh, it's kilograms, so he's gonna go into settings, change it to lb, so it's displayed properly. Oh, it's gonna be 172 lb now. But I do know what you mean. Yeah, you would want to you could improve it by saying, okay, if you selected kilogram, if this is kilogram and you enter weight, it's gonna be remembered as kilogram, and then, or have even a base, whenever you're storing stuff in a database, it's always gonna be stored as kilogram, and whenever you read it, it's going through a conversion layer to convert it to whatever you're setting in your settings. So, and then I guess the conversion layer can also store, like, convert it back into, when you type in pounds before you store it, it's stored as a kilogram. That's a very good point. I will have to think about if I want to add that in this update. I think it could make sense. It could be fun to implement too, this conversion layer. Let me just put this on the Trello board, okay? Just so I don't forget. So we have, that's not the app. We have a different app going on here. Better workout, backlog, conversion layer for unit system. When user enters weight, I guess always store kilogram in database and have a conversion layer to convert kilogram into whatever the user chose as a unit as his unit system, vice versa, before storing into database, have it go through I cannot think anymore. Conversion layer to convert into kilogram. Okay, this makes sense, right? I think so. I hope so. Whew. Did we commit everything? What is this little change here? I guess, okay. So, okay, awesome. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for engaging. It was super fun, and I hope I hope you'll join on Wednesday again. Thank you again for the follow. I appreciate it, and have a good one. Talk to you soon, guys, everyone, and also the ones who are looking in the background and chilling and just listening to the pokey, lofi background music. See you next time. Bye.